us the prayer for the proper perception so that we don't go astray. And going astray doesn't mean you take a big leap. You can just take a small step. Dear believers, we must understand as we think of these tests that there are negative influences in our lives. We must, as believers, as Muslim, understand the story of Adam. And we're not going through the whole story. We're just going through the simple, basic premise that Allah gives us. He created Adam. He taught him the nature of all things. He gave them guidance. Do not eat from the, don't approach the tree. He was caused to slip. He met a word from his creator. And his creator was often returning most forgiving. That is the circle of us every day in our lives. Every day there's going to be some mistake that you may make. After guidance, after Ramadan, after reading the Quran, after fasting 30 days, after coming to Jumu'ah on Friday, we've been given all the guidance we need. We're still going to slip. The shaitan, it says he caused the both of them to slip. And after they slipped, what happened? They met a word. So every one of us, dear believers, we must know that we're not created perfect. We're going to fall short, but we have to turn to our creator. We can't say, I'm not turning back. I'm just going to, I'll wait till next Ramadan, next Jumu'ah. Inshallah, when I go to Hajj in 50 years, I'll ask Allah to have mercy on me. No, that's not what we do in Islam. That's not the story of Adam. Adam got guidance, was influenced by the shaitan, met a word from his Lord, and got right back into the game. That is us. And what does Allah tell us? He says the Satan promised Allah that he will try to attack us. He will attack us from what? Our front. What is the front? The front is your perceptions. Some things you're going to see these tests. You're going to see these influences right in front of your face. Broad daylight. You can drive by an ABC store and say, oh, I see that one. Go downtown to see the adult entertainment, whatever they have going on. I see that one. He's going to attack you from your left, from your weaknesses. We all have certain weaknesses that we struggle with. He's going to attack us from our strengths, all right? Things that you're good at, you will be tested for sure. Make no mistake about it. If you are good at something and you have a strength, you may be someone that Hafiz Quran. Let's use that. MashaAllah, we celebrate brother, sister, Hafiz Quran. That test starts now and you have to live it and teach it. You can't just get something as a gift of Allah's creation, do nothing. If you learn one ayah, you got to teach an ayah. We must understand this, dear believers, that these tests are coming from all angles. You may be tested in your beauty and physical attributes. Allah may have blessed you with certain gifts that you look a certain way. That can be a test for you. You can be spending more time on your physique and your beauty than worship. In fact, in our society, especially with what they're pushing on social media of body augmentation for our sisters, they're trying to promote that everything you have should be augmented and fake, BDL and all this other stuff. You can go to some cities where that's all they have is people that have artificial realities. That's a test. Because the question is not, we're not getting into the halal, haram of if you should or if you shouldn't. It's why you should or why you shouldn't. If you should say, Allah has created me perfect. He's given me everything that I need. And I should not feel that the social pressure of having an imperfection should force me to change my reality. You may be tested with money. The money you have, the money you don't have. How many of us are tested with that wealth? Either trying to have it or having it and trying to balance it. And most of us would say, give me that test of wealth. Give me that $100 million. I know exactly what to do. A'udhu billah. A'udhu billah. You don't know. until you're in that situation. But every time we look at these shows, they're always talking about the people who have it, who say it's the biggest burden of their lives. In fact, dear believers, Allah, He puts our salat next to our wealth. You should think about donating 5 times a day. Why is that? Because the Quran says, Aqimu salat wa antu zakat. Establish prayer and give in charity. Establish prayer and give in charity. You should never have a day where you don't think about giving. But most of us don't think of it that way. We think about our 5 prayers. We don't think about giving 5 times a day. It doesn't have to be wealth. Maybe your zakat's going to be in some other fashion. But the test comes. Dear believers, I'll share this with you. I was talking to a new Shahada some years ago. The young brother took his Shahada. He called me about 2 weeks later and said, Imam, I'm not going to be able to stay in Islam. I said, man, what happened? He said, I got too many problems. I said, what's going on? Talk to me. He said, well, I got a smoking habit, man. I know I took my Shahada, I know I came Islam, but I got a smoking habit. I said, listen, brother, Islam is for you. Islam can help you with that. Keep coming out. He said, brother, I'm serious. I got an unfinished pack of cigarettes at home. I said, brother, still come out. He said, you know what, Imam, I also got an unfinished blunt that I need to finish. He kept going. I said, brother, Islam is for you. He said, Imam, I also have a girlfriend. In fact, I was just with her before, and I'm going to see her this weekend. I said, Islam is for you, brother. You're in the right place. Come to the Masjid. Well, why am I sharing this, dear believers? Because so many of us find ourselves in challenging situations where we want to just give up. Or you want to see yourself outside of the Muslim Ummah, outside of Allah's hope, outside of Allah's guidance. But that's the very place you should be. The Sahaba didn't just take their Shahada and just one day miraculously become the best of the best. It was a process. It took years of building character. And we must get this message, especially to our young people. Because now they're in a world that they're struggling in, especially the world of temptation. This is not 1980 or 90 where we don't have internet or phones. You could be a young person with strong desires sitting home, and that test is that phone. Should you go to CNN or something else? Major test. And you must believe that Allah and His Messenger is the hope and the guidance to help you with that. It's not going to go away. But there's people who leave Islam due to shame and guilt. We come to the Masjid, we see each other, but there are people here struggling with these issues. May have a young lady on the side. A sister may have her brother they're talking to. Somebody may be struggling with some type of addiction or something that's not really an Islamic behavior. But dear believers, what I want you to know, and a reminder to me and you, is that Allah is going to test us with these different things. And winning in Islam is different than winning in the rest of the world. The winning in Islam comes by you staying in the race and turning to your Creator over and over again. You may be struggling with something for years, and Allah opens up a way for you. So it's not about did you or did you not make the mistake. Because if we're connected to Adam, hey, newsflash, you're going to make a mistake. And you're going to keep making them. But the key is, how do you reconcile? How are you staying close to your Creator? And we have to remind, especially the younger people, because it's very easy to have the weight of how you should live damage your spirit. And I can tell you, because I was one of them, dear believers. I was one that struggled. I mean, I grew up born Muslim, like some of you, but had a double life in high school. It's hard to talk about, but I want you to understand, not from my story, I want you to understand that when you have expectations, you're in Jumu'ah, you're fasting, but you still may be going to a party after Jumu'ah. You may still be talking to someone you shouldn't be talking to. You may still have behaviors that are creating a duality right in your soul. You're trying to be Muhammad and you're trying to be this. You're trying to be Aisha and you're trying to be that. We want everybody to know, don't give up hope. Because the tests of life are going to keep coming. And if you just hold on to the rope of Allah, Allah will make it easier for us. The hardest day and the best day of my life, dear believers, was the day I decided to turn all the way to Allah and submit. 19 years old, I decided, you know what? This is the day I'm going to take a shower, make 2 rakats, and I'm going all in. It didn't mean the test got harder, believers. It wasn't like it was easy after that, but guess what? At that moment, I knew I was on the path. And anything can happen. Allah can take me tomorrow. If you're on the path, that's all you can ask for. You're not giving up. You are trying to be one with the creation and submit your will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. آمين. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Dear believers, it's a challenging topic. Trying to keep everything together and notes and all this stuff. But as our theme today was, if you say you believe, know you'll be tested. There are some important points I want to make sure we can convey. Allah says, if you want to go to paradise, know you're going to be tested. And if paradise is everything we read about, sometimes these tests are going to be very hard. We don't want to have this perception that we just be Muslim and just show up every day and come to Masjid and do this. You have to embrace that you may be put in life in a circumstance that's going to challenge you to your very core. Don't have a perception that everything is fine. Don't have a perception of just rationalizing. Well, Allah knows my condition. He knows I'm a man. I have needs. MashaAllah, I'll get married one day. No, that's a test. It's hard to stand in the way of Allah with a society that's going the other direction. So just know one thing, dear believers, if we want this reward, we're going to have some experiences that are going to challenge us. It's going to take everything you have. We see the stories of the Sahaba. They were called to go out and give their lives up. We see Yusuf, who's tested by his own brothers and his own siblings for years. We see his father who has to endure the test of losing his own son. We see Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in having to leave this homeland. And the believers having to, can you imagine getting up and leaving and never coming back to a place you love? And going through all of those tribulations. But Allah says, glad tidings to those who patiently persevere. So that's one thing I want us to, just as I remind myself, that know the test is going to be difficult. Also, be mindful of blind spots. The shaitan sometimes can impact you from things you don't perceive. He comes from the rear. You may not even realize it. You may not even realize the test that you're being presented with because it's coming from a place that you can't perceive. So how do we try to prepare ourselves going forward as this is going to happen to us as all the time? One thing is try to stay as closely connected to the Quran as you can. Because everything you need to get through this life has been revealed in the Quran as guidance. If we read it, we'll see it and it'll help prepare us. It is the manual. It is the revelation. It is the healing. It is our guidance. Come up with a daily plan of how that Quran is going to help you. I'll share this with you. So, all of us had to come up with a plan after Ramadan. And, you're trying to struggle with your time. We all crunch for time. I had to make a tough decision, just delete Twitter. I had to delete it before Ramadan. Because I'll be honest, I did have a slight addiction where I'm scrolling and scrolling, and this more comments, more update. I just couldn't. I said, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of this. And I would be like, I'm not saying I'm not going to get it again. I may download, something may happen in the world. I may say, let me see what they're saying about this. But I knew me. So you have to know you. We none of us can give you the guidance for you in your situation. You know you. So make the adjustment. But I use this thing called Quran.com. And what it has is, if you go to the website, it allows you to create your own learning path where you can say, I want to finish the Quran in 60 days, 90 days, 120, and it tracks it for you every day. It tells you how many verses you need to complete to finish the Quran in so many days. We have to do something like that for ourselves to keep us in check. I think I'm on a 20-something day streak. And if you read it a week, you're going to be like, I don't want to just miss the day. Let me read these 7 or 8 verses and get the guidance that Allah has for you. But you got to sacrifice. Hey, I know some people want to sit home and watch streaming and BMF. Hey, listen, you got to know, hey, real talk. Some of us are in situations where the influences can push us over the edge. You have to know you. If you're struggling with temptation, you may not want to sit there and listen to the Ozzy Brothers on repeat all day long if you're single. I'm not saying you're going to listen to the Quran all day, but you got to know what exactly is going to help me in this great struggle. You may have to try to consider getting married if you're not. You may not be ready. The society has made it so difficult for single people. They've poisoned the environment by having men versus women, and where you're trying to figure out all of these things and negotiate. No, forget all that. All you need to have sincerity, meet a person that's reasonable to help you get to paradise. Keep it simple. Come see one of the imams and try to get married. Don't let the shaitan's influence on all of the logistics. Well, how are we going to figure out whose role, who's going to do this? No. Allah, the Prophet says, marriage is half of our deen. It is better for you to marry that young sister or marry that sister than it is to just be in the streets. It's better for you to, if you have a brother that's interested in you, go ahead and pursue that, because we're trying to figure out how can we save our souls. We're not here because we like just social environment. We like being around our people. We're not here for that, dear believers. We are here for one reason. We're here to worship our Creator, try to earn paradise, and in the process, we can have some fun community life. That's the purpose. So you have to make decisions that what is the fastest way that I can try to get myself into a better situation so I can be eligible for paradise. So dear believers, we have classes. Find a class. We have Sirah class we're trying to offer, Quranic, Arabic, Islam 101. There's stuff all online, social media. There's so much information that we should try to keep ourselves as busy as possible with the guidance of our Creator and the example of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And dear believers, just remember, Allah tells us, do we think we will enter paradise without being tested? So may Allah continue to strengthen us, guide us, have mercy on us as we endure the test of life. And again, it's not about winning. It's about staying on the straight path. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ بعد إذ هديتنا وهب إنك أنت الوهاب. أقيموا الصلاة. Oh, I got the announcement, sorry. Let me read the announcement and now we'll close out with one more dua. It says, please make dua for those who are sick or in need. Brother Lawrence Muhammad lost his brother this week. Make dua for his family as they travel to the janazah. Abdul Halal will have back surgery Tuesday. Brother Zarif was released from the hospital today. Please pay zakat and sadaqah at Masjid.org. The National Muslim Business Conference takes place this weekend in Raleigh. Register at National Muslim Business Conference.org. Next weekend, May 10th and 11th, Masjid al-Mu'minun in Winston-Salem hosts their annual Family Unity Day educational weekend. The closing ceremony for the Strongden School and open house for Camp Connection will take place June 2nd. Watch your email for more information. Camp Connection opens June 17th and runs through August 9th. Tuition is $125 per week. For more information, see Sister Maida at 704-593-9261. Registration is now open for the Brothers Summit. See Imam Ibn Mutakabir for more information. Again, Rabbana Atina fi dunya hasanatin wa fi akhirati hasanatin ila adhabin nar. Ameen.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Ready? Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta 'alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك أعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنب بها الأشقى الذي يصلى نار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولم يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون حياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي صحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then after that, then you have to you are giving you have to on that. But then another thing is about that but then I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna means I'm giving that. Yes, Monday night, 6 o'clock. Monday night.
But I got it. Can you send me the time?
Okay. That was so humongous.